Hello again. Welcome back to Lost in Translation. My name is Nico, and this week we are taking a look at the Torah portion of Tavo and the 10 things that you will miss if you are only reading the Torah portion in English. So we're going to take a look at number 1. This day. Okay, now the context here is that Moshe Rabbeinu is reviewing all the commandments again before he dies. He knows he's going to go up the mountain and that he's going to die up there. And he's speaking to this new generation that's preparing to enter the land. And he's been kind of repeating all the commandments. And he's come to the end of this repetition of all the commandments. And he's saying, this day, the Lord your God is commanding you to fulfill these statutes, right? Hayom hazeh Hashem alecha mitzucha lesot et hachukim ha'ele, right? All these ordinances, these commandments, these statutes, this day. And so what Moshe Rabbeinu is trying to communicate here is that we should feel that every day that the commandments are new, that every day we're receiving the Torah for the first time, that it's not this day that he spoke thousands of years ago, but for each Jew, we should feel it as if it's this day, this exact day, right here, right now, boom, the commandment has arrived this day. Number 2, you have distinguished. Et Hashem ha'emarta. You have selected, you have distinguished Hashem this day, right? That through our acceptance of Torah and mitzvot, that we have not just accepted Hashem, but we've selected him, we've distinguished Hashem, that we're going to look after or observe his commandments and his ordinances. It's a special relationship that's being established here, and Hashem has selected you this day, right, as his treasured people. And remember, we've talked about this idea of segula being our remedy, that Israel Yashar Kel is this being directed to God, and this is the remedy for the entire world, for the individual to remedy his own egoism, and the remedy for the entire world, so that we should all lift up towards the final correction. Number 3, blessing and a curse. We spoke about this before when it first showed up, that there is the blessing and the curse that half the tribes of Israel, once they cross over the Jordan, they're supposed to go one half to the mountain of Gerizim and the other to the mountain of Edbal. And we know this is the mountain of grasses, which are all unified, the same species, the oneness and the multiplicity justified together, where the blessing is written, and Mount Elba, the mountain of, Mount Ebal, the mountain of weeds, where everything grows how it wants, chokes each other out, competes for resources, tries to kill each other, and that's where the curse is going to be written. And what we come to understand is that the land carries both. The land carries both a blessing and a curse, and it's the blessing for those who will be like the grasses, who will be the multiplicity acting as one, and the land will be a curse to those who try to compete, to destroy the other, to choke out the life of the other. That this blessing and curse is always in front of us, and we choose it every single day, and the way we choose it is through Torah mitzvot, or the rejection thereof. Number 4, Levi. Now this is interesting because there are 12 tribes, but Levi is often excluded because they don't have an inheritance in the land. And this is when we see Manasseh and Ephraim, the two half tribes of Joseph, end up being counted separately, so that there's always this number of 12. But here, what we have is the 12 tribes are being divided to go on these two different mountains, and here Levi is included in order that it should go up onto the mountain of Gerizim to make the blessing. And the tribe of Joseph here is mentioned, and Ephraim and Manasseh are not mentioned individually. Otherwise, it would be 13. So it's just interesting that we're always keeping this number 12 when we're talking about the tribes. When Levi is included in the count, we see the tribe of Joseph. When Levi is excluded from the account, we see the tribe of Manasseh and Ephraim, which is just an interesting way to see how these qualities, that the quality of Levi included in the nation unifies these two half tribes into the tribe of Joseph, who was righteous, instead of being separated into the two righteous sons in exile that were born in Egypt. 5, he will bless you. Okay, so right now the Lord will order the blessing to be with you in your granaries and in every of your one of your endeavors, right? That there will be bread, granaries, goes back to bread. But the real bread for us, the spiritual bread, is Torah, right? And the real land, he will bless you in the land. Ba'aretz, uverachcha ba'aretz asher Hashem Elohecha nuten lach. Right? Remember, Aretz is, or Eretz is connected back to Ratzon, desire. So he's giving us this desire for spirituality. And the Torah is our bread. And he's going to bless us in this land. So the more we endeavor to come close to him through this desire with connection to Hashem through spirituality, the more he's going to bless these endeavors. We're going to have our ascents and our descents, the descents we need in order to advance. And in the end, we're going to see how it's constantly a blessing and how he's constantly really always only bringing us closer. 6, you will grope. First song, that you will grope at midday as the blind man gropes in the dark, right? You can't see where you're going. This is if we reject Torah and mitzvot, that basically by training ourselves from the light, we will be in darkness. Finished. We're not talking about, oh, you made Hashem angry and he's going to punish you. There's a blessing. This is the right way. This is how you live well. And if you turn yourself away from that, there are bad consequences. We are created for a purpose. That purpose is to see in the light, to go with Torah mitzvot, and to become like our Creator. That is our intended purpose. That's why we are created. And if we reject that and go after our own intentions, our own egoism, it's as if we're in darkness, because we are separated from that light and that life that Hashem has prepared for us. Number 7, a sign and a wonder. Okay, that in the rejection of Torah and mitzvot, that they will be a sign and a wonder upon you and your offspring forever, because you did not serve the Lord your Hashem with happiness, with gladness, right? In accordance with everything that he's told you. And therefore you will serve your enemies. Well, who are our enemies? Right? We're not talking about corporeal enemies. This is an obvious A equals, if A, then B. situation here. If we're not going to direct our lives to Hashem, and we're going to direct ourselves towards our egoism, our corporeal desires, and separate ourselves from Hashem, the enemies are the enemies within us, right? And they're going to send against you famine, thirst, destitution. We're always going to feel lacking in our egoism. Whereas in Torah mitzvot, even if we're lacking something physical here, we always feel satisfied with our closeness to Hashem, because we know that everything that we have now is exactly what we need in order to become closer to Him. So this is how the perspective changes the same situation. I don't have enough bread to eat right now. I'm angry about it because I want bread. Or I don't have enough bread to eat right now. It's because Hashem knows that I'm too dependent on this connection to bread. It's okay that I don't have it. I can go a day or two, and Hashem will take care of me. And one, I'm satisfied with Hashem, and the other, I'm angry that I don't have my bread. So just this slight adjustment is all we need to have a happy life, no matter what our corporeal circumstances are. Number 8, hang in the balance. And your life will hang in suspense, in balance. You will be in fear at night and day, and you'll not believe in your life, right? That if we reject Hashem, if we don't have Torah mitzvot in our life, even the meaning of our lives itself becomes questionable. That every moment we can't imagine what will happen from one moment to the next, and there's this constant fear, even a fear of death. Whereas in Torah mitzvot, when we know what the purpose is, when we're moving towards Hashem, and everything we do is for this universal experience, this oneness that we're all incidences of, the fear goes away. The suspense disappears, because we know that we're doing everything in our power to go forward exactly as the plan dictates. Number 9, there will be no buyer. Right? So here we're talking about how Hashem will bring us back to Egypt in ships, to the way about which I had said you will never see it again. And there you will seek to be sold to your enemies. Who are the enemies again? Your ego, the egoism. Egypt is limitation. We'll be sent back to that limitation, and we'll be looking for some pharaoh to serve, but there won't be any buyer. That the egoism will no longer want anything to do with our corrupted spirituality. There won't be any way back to that limitation, because we'll know what we're supposed to be doing, and we won't be in this ignorant state anymore that Egypt was about. Once we leave the limitations of Egypt, there's no going back. To go back means to surrender, but to always know in the back of your mind that we've abandoned Torah mitzvot. And in this way, the ego doesn't want to buy Israel anymore. There's no interest in this kind of slave. Number 10, through the desert for 40 years. And this is probably one of the most remarkable and most underrated miracles of the entire Torah, right? That he's recounting, that Moshe Rabbeinu recounting to the nation of Israel, that I led you through the desert for 40 years, right? That he's going to bring us through this wilderness. And during that time, your garments did not wear out upon your feet, right? your footwear didn't wear out, your garments didn't wear out. It means that he's going to provide everything that we need through this spiritual struggle as we come to Yeshar Kel, to the land of Israel. And he's going to fight all the wars for us, right? He arrived at this place, Sihon, king of Heshbon, Og, king of Bashan. They came out to battle, and we smote them, right? I took care of everything for you. I'll continue to take care of everything for you. We need to know that the path is set before us, and we know we have to believe in the miracle that that we're going to be carried forward through the spiritual endeavor. It's a lot going on in this portion as well. Please share with me your ideas in the comments. I invite you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and until next time, be well.